All right, so I just got the audio from the Charleston radio group who did the interview. So this is pretty exciting. It's actually on a podcast, and they put it out on all of their radio station websites. So you ready to hear it for the first time? Are we all ready to hear it? Okay. It was a little bit nerve-wracking to be interviewed like that, but it's all to help raise awareness for the fundraiser. So we did it. Okay, you ready?
Ready.
All right.
Now, Low Country Forever, a public affairs presentation of Charleston Media Solutions.
The men and women in blue in our community are coming together for one of their own, and it's something that you can help out with on Thursday, February 27th, and that's our subject today here on Low Country Forever. I'm Brian Cleary, and I'm joined by the president of the NYPD 1013 Club, the North Charleston branch, Frank Capagrosso, and also Lindsay Perry's going to join us in a couple of seconds, but the man who is going to be the point of what this event is for, and it's a fundraiser, is Officer Jonathan Donnelly with the North Charleston Police Department. Officer Donnelly, some people know your story, other people don't. Can you let us know something's happened to you health-wise that has brought you to this point? What was it that caused you to go to the doctor and say, hey, doc, I got a little issue here?
Well, I've been diabetic type 1 since I was 10 years old. So when I was going there, just on my normal checkup.
Can we just stop for a moment to say that Jonathan has a voice made for radio?
Yeah.
Doesn't it sound so good?
He's got a pretty cool voice.
He has a great
I think it's that
voice.
new kidney.
It might be.
They do blood work at least once a year, and then they recommended me to a nephrologist because they were concerned about some things. We went there actually with my wife and I, and she was pregnant with our second child, and shockingly they told us that I had stage 3 kidney disease, and I didn't even know I had kidney disease. I didn't feel anything at that moment, and at that point the inevitable was that I was going to work towards getting a transplant at one point in my life. Whether it was 5 years from now or 5 months from now, I couldn't tell from that point.
So did it move along kind of quickly that stage 5 hit, and then all of a sudden they're telling you, all right, you need a transplant?
Yes. When my GFR number, when it gets to 20, that's when they put you on a transplant list. And at that time, it was in the 30s, and then did move quick. It got to 20, and then it declined within a year to where it was under 10, and then I had to start dialysis.
Dialysis does not sound like a fun process. People who see it on TV or they've heard about that, what does that mean when you're on dialysis in terms of how that affects your life?
The first one was PD dialysis, which I did at home, and it lasted for a couple of months, and then all of a sudden it nosedived, and I just don't think my body did well with it in the beginning. I think majority of the cleaning was still done by the residual of my kidneys. And then I had to go to the hemodialysis, had to switch to that. They actually put a catheter up by my neck that went into my veins, into my heart. And I had to do that and go to a facility 3 times a week, which that actually improved my health by a lot.
Now, are you trying to work through all this while it's going on?
Before I went on dialysis, yes, I still worked as a police officer. And then it got to a point where I was feeling it physically, and I can't put my other officers in danger if I can't be 100% at work. So that's when we decided to go and see, and I got the catheter put in for PD dialysis at that point. And that's when I went on medical leave at that point. So.
And you end up on the transplant list, and that's what we'll bring Lindsay Perry into the conversation. So, Lindsay, how is it that you came about and found out about Officer Donnelly's situation?
My husband also works as a North Charleston police officer, and he told me about Jonathan's situation, and he had said that he wanted to get the word out about him and a GoFundMe that his family had started for him, and that's when I first heard about it.
So you know that this is happening, and you get a little more involved than most people would in this situation.
Sure. A news story came out about his story, and at the bottom there was a link to check to see if you could be a possible match through the hospital. And I clicked that link and I never looked back.
Wow. Well, it's amazing that someone would process that in their head. I mean, I'd like to think that all of us would step up if we could in that situation, but we know that that's not the case and for any kind of different reasons. But obviously that was a conversation you had to have with your family and stuff. What is it that made you decide that, okay, I'm a match, I'm going to donate my kidney to Officer Donnelly?
I mean, I looked into it. I did a lot of research. I talked to the people who would be responsible for taking care of me post-surgery for these couple of weeks. And it just felt right. All of the puzzle pieces were falling into place, and he needed me and I was willing. So we all decided together that it'd be best to move forward.
And one of the more interesting things about this, at least I think, if your sister, your brother, a family member needs something like that, boom, you just go to it. But you didn't know Officer Donnelly personally at the point there where you decided that you would help him, correct?
Correct. But I did know that he is a police officer and that he has worked to serve the community that I live in. He had already volunteered to give his life for my own safety. So the least I could do was to give him a kidney to keep him going.
It's the amazing thing about police officers, and let's explore that a little more here on Low Country Forever. I'm Brian Cleary, joined by a trio of people, including the president of the NYPD 1013 Club North Charleston, Frank Capagrosso. Now, Frank, we bring you in because there's an event coming up that you're spearheading that's going to help raise some money and help out Officer Donnelly. What can you tell us about the February 27th event?
Well, first, Brian, thank you so much for having us on. We really appreciate your help, the posting on your websites and everything. This is the last week before the event, so we're really trying to do one last push to get as many people through the door as possible. First of all, the two stars of our event you have on with us, Jonathan and Lindsay. Without them and their inspiration and what they've been going through and what they did, it's inspired many people in the community to make very nice donations to this event, as well as donate raffle prizes. The city of North Charleston has donated the hall at Park Circle for us free of charge. The North Charleston Police Department has been a tremendous help. Their officers advertising this event and selling tickets for us. The event is, like you said, February 27th, Thursday night from 5 to 9:30. We have some live entertainment. I don't know if you're going to go into that later, but Dylan Carter from The Voice will be performing. He donated his time and his talent to this event to make it a success.
That's pretty nice. Dylan Carter, not only a great performer, but a nice guy as well. So we've got live entertainment. You mentioned some raffles. So I come out to the event. Give me an example of one or two things that I might be able to pick up through the raffle.
We have two main grand prizes, a vacation package to Florida, one to Myrtle Beach, and also the North Charleston Coliseum. One of our members works there. She was able to obtain 4 tickets to Blake Shelton that will be raffling off as one of the grand prizes. There will also be a lot of little prizes, gift certificates to restaurants and things members of the community donated.
So if I want to come out to the event, again, we're talking February 27th at the Park Circle Community Center there, Park Circle, North Charleston. Do I need to get a ticket? Do I need to get that in advance? How's that going to work out for me?
It'd be great if you can get it in advance on the site that's listed, Fund the First. That's run by 2 retired NYPD officers who do it out of the goodness of their own hearts. They don't charge anything to us to buy tickets or donate on that site. You could buy them on site as well. That's not a problem at all. I also have paper tickets available to sell to anyone who needs them.
So, Frank, what is Code 46? I noticed the soiree that's coming up is going to be the Code 46 1013 fundraiser. What's Code 46?
Well, Jonathan might be able to fill you better what Code 46 is. That's their code. But 1013 is the code in New York City for officer needs assistance.
All right, Jonathan. So Code 46 is?
Code 46 is the same thing for us in South Carolina. It means the officer's life is in danger, and that's when everyone's coming to your assistance at that moment if you call Code 46 over the radio.
And Jonathan, for you personally, a lot of the police officers that I know are tough men and women, and they generally aren't the kind of people who, they don't want your help. You're the ones that are helping me. You don't want my help. Now all of a sudden you've got the community coming around to help you out. Is it an uncomfortable feeling? Hopefully it's a good feeling.
In the beginning, it was uncomfortable. My wife and I were very private about my kidney disease just because, I felt it was my issue, not everyone else's. But DC Perry convinced me to do the news article and that interview. And first I was on the fence about it, and I talked to my wife about it, and DC Perry assured me it was a very good idea to do it, and I'm glad he did. And it changed my life. It probably saved my life, to be honest with you. And I'm just very happy of how the whole community came together. I couldn't be prouder to be part of this community. And, DC Perry's wife, Lindsay, she saved my life. So, I've got 2 little girls to live for and everything. So there's nothing in this world I could thank you enough for and everything like that. So it's amazing because, like I said, if I didn't do that news article, I think I would still be on that waiting list right now. And when I was on the dialysis, I was starting to take a nosedive. For whatever reason, my body just didn't like being on dialysis. So just a very difficult thing to go through.
It's the reason we need to see you in Park Circle at the Community Center on Thursday, February 27th for this fundraiser for Officer Donnelly. It's our subject today here on Low Country Forever. I'm Brian Cleary, joined by Officer Jonathan Donnelly from the North Charleston Police Department, and also Lindsay Perry, the woman who gave her kidney so that Officer Donnelly is alive and moving forward today. Lindsay, one of the things that I've always noticed about police tend to stick together. You're not an officer yourself, but your husband is. It tends to be family for the police department, but families of the police department. I guess this is a good example of everybody in the blue and white sticking together and helping one another.
Absolutely.
Now, you were in the hospital for how long after you donated your kidney?
I was only there one night.
That seems pretty amazing that you were in and out one night. After you were able to give your kidney, obviously you had to feel good personally, but physically, what were you going through? I mean, you had a major surgery.
There's some soreness and some tenderness and, a little bit of trouble getting up and down. But overall, it hasn't been that bad of a recovery. It's 2 weeks today and I feel great today. So it's well worth it.
I think people would be curious to know, so I'm going to ask you, and this may not be the most comfortable question, but you decided to do this. What was it like for the first time when you met Officer Donnelly?
It was amazing. It was amazing to meet him. I just felt so honored, and I feel so honored to be a part of his journey back to health, back to what he loves, protecting the community. And I've come to know that he's a great father and husband, and I couldn't have had a better recipient.
So Frank, Lindsay obviously made a huge donation, but is it possible, can people, beyond coming to the event on February 27th, is there anything else that a business or a person can do to help with the event?
Oh, absolutely. They could contact me if they'd like to make a donation. They could also donate a raffle prize if they want to do that. Also get your owners and your employees out to the event. Come by for an hour or two. There's going to be a couple of food carts there, some beverages served. Come by, have a drink, get something to eat, and enjoy the show.
Now, Frank, you're a retired police officer. You were an officer in New York City. You've told me you came down here about 10 years ago. What is it that would have you form a group of retired police officers? Is that just another incident or example of police officers sticking together?
Yes, these groups started about 30 years ago. We have them throughout the country. We're part of a national group. There's 3 here in South Carolina. There's a big one in Myrtle Beach and also one in Fort Mill in the upstate. We have chapters now opening up in Arizona, Las Vegas, plenty in Florida. The guys have moved to Florida over the years. We also have one coming to Houston, Texas.
And in terms of the size of the group that you have here in North Charleston, how many people are a part of that?
Our group here is about 100 members right now. We still have about another 50 to 100 guys on our radar that have just moved here that we haven't signed up yet, but we're hoping to sign them up this year.
And is your club specifically for officers from New York who have retired here, or just any retired police officer?
Primarily with guys retired from the NYPD, but we also accept memberships to any law enforcement officers that are retired here in the Low Country.
Do they have to talk with a New York accent to get in, or can they?
No, the only word we banned was y'all. You're not allowed to say that on a Facebook page because we butcher it. Doesn't sound very good coming out of my mouth, but anything else is fair game. Any teasing or...
You guys are okay with Chick-fil-A and sweet tea and all that? That plays in as well?
Oh, we love Chick-fil-A.
Okay, well, good deal. Now, Officer Donnelly, you've been off work for how long?
In March, it will be a year, which is very odd. I've been working since I was 16 years old. I don't know what to do with myself sometimes.
How has the department been in terms of how they've been working with you? Because obviously, you're not able to work. You're going back to work soon, but has the North Charleston Police Department been pretty fair in dealing with you through this?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. They've been great, especially Deputy Chief Perry is always checking on me, and my team members check on me, and majority of people check on me that I've worked with on other teams as well.
When do you hope to be back on the force, back out on your job?
Well, like I said, 8 weeks, they say I'm clear for duty, but the doctors say that 3 months is the most crucial because I'm on an immune suppressant drugs. And so they say after the 3 months, you're kind of more clear and you could go out in public more often. So I probably would wait to 3 months. I might do light duty at the 8 weeks, but as far as getting back on patrol, I probably would wait to 3 months. Just because dealing with the public, I don't want to get like a cold or the flu or something and that be detrimental to my health.
I can't imagine being your wife because, one, there's stress because my husband is a police officer, but now my husband is got to go find a kidney transplant and all this. This has had been a challenge, to say the least, for your family.
I feel for my wife. She's a very strong and brave woman because as my health deteriorated, she took over everything. taking care. Like, there's days where I would sleep 12, 14 hours during the day because my body was just worn out from having the kidney disease. And my wife just took over and just had to do everything. And I'd feel bad, feel terrible. We're young. And, this is something, you look to when you're older and all that. But I had happened at such a young age. And I just feel bad as we have, like I said, 2 little girls. And, my wife took on a lot. I don't know if I take a lifetime to pay her back for that. So,
well, the good news, you have a lot of years coming your way, and you'll be able to do that. And Lindsay, now you've donated this kidney, which is a life-changing thing for Officer Donnelly. What about for you in terms of life-changing? Are there things now that you can't do, or are you pretty much, I was able to donate the kidney, but I'm back having a quote-unquote normal life?
I'll be pretty much cleared for a normal life after 4 more weeks. Just no serious contact sports. So, yeah, I wasn't doing those anyway.
That's a good thing. So, Frank, really the main thing now, we've just got to stress February 27th. We need to get as many people out at Park Circle Community Center as well. It's going to be a fun night for everybody who comes out, right?
It's shaping up to be a great night out. Like I said, it's 4.5 hours long, so you can pop in, for a half hour, an hour here. Dylan's going to be doing 3 sets at 6:30, 7:30, and 8:30 for about a half hour each. If you want to time that when you show up. We wanted to raise awareness about this type of disease and kidney transplants as well in the community. So we're going to have some guys that come by with their emergency equipment. They transport the organs throughout the state, when someone needs a transplant. So they're going to be there as well, handing out some information as well.
And at the end of the night, all this money raised will go where?
100% goes to Jonathan and his family.
And that's why you need to be a part of this event. Park Circle Community Center in North Charleston this Thursday evening, February 22nd, the Code 46-1013 fundraiser for Officer Jonathan Donnelly of the North Charleston Police Department. If you need more information on the event, you missed anything as part of our conversation, all that information is available on the website of the Charleston Media Solutions radio station that you're listening to right now. Just click on the events tab. Officer Jonathan Donnelly from the North Charleston Police Department, his kidney donor, Lindsay Perry, and the president of the NYPD 1013 Club North Charleston, Frank Capagrosso, our guest today here on Low Country Forever.
It's a night of...
Okay.
Wow, that's pretty good.
Did you know he said all that sweet stuff about you?
Mm-mm.
He was choking me up during the interview. I was crying during the
man.
interview because he was just so... Whew.
I think you and Jonathan have good radio voices, but I couldn't understand a thing Frank was saying.
It's not the voice, it's the accent. It's a New York accent, I think, that got you. Well, I'm going to put a link to the event in the comment section. So just click most relevant. It'll be the first one that you see there. There you can just choose to donate. If you're not local, can't, get a ticket to the event, you can donate directly to the Donnelly family via that link as well. Just click donate. And like they said, there's no fees. This is a police run. 2 men just do this out of the kindness of their heart for other police officers. So no little fees that are going to be taken out by them. All the money will go straight to the Donnelly family. So it's a great way to donate to them if you haven't had a chance to yet and would like to. What'd you think?
It was great. Yeah, I was proud of you and Donnelly and everybody. I think it's going to be a good event.
I think so too. All right. Bye, guys.
Bye.